Okay, future millionaire, we're trying to use battery discharge warning. We're trying to use the new operating system in the Genesis whatever 90, I think, something like that. Welcome to the continuation of our trip in Melbourne. Okay, last video we made in the BMW. This one we're making in Hyundai Genesis, or maybe just call it the Genesis. It's an amazing brand. This is a brand new brand to both me and Corey, and he's focused on learning how to use it, and it's difficult to use. It's very difficult to use. I tried straight away. It's not intuitive, so maybe some feedback made it more intuitive. Hope most important, don't drive off. Whatever happens, don't drive off. Okay, now back to the reason why I make the video. The mission for which we came to Melbourne for has been extended, and we might be in Melbourne and the surrounding area for some time to come. I'm not sure how many days. And meanwhile, we are enjoying the city like tourists. And today we were in the museum. That was amazing.
The National Gallery of Victoria.
Yeah, correct. And the main message of this video is that I'm truly enjoying my day every single day. And last night I had amazing experience with a friend, and you had amazing experience with a new friend. Yeah, we just shout out to our new friends. Hello. You know who you are, so we're not gonna name any names because full privacy. The last thing I want is some people chase people down who are important to us. So full privacy. Now back to living your life. Here's my advice, and it's not a financial advice, it's living advice. We are at the cusp of the start of a nuclear war, and there's nothing we can do to change the outcome. All the chess pieces in place, as he said in the last video, and the most likely outcome of the game, of this chess game, is full-on nuclear destruction. I'm not predicting it. I'm merely saying, like a chess game, this is the most likely outcome, because this is the way how the chessboard is set up right now. Just like in certain chessboard setting up, the outcome is a defeat or retreat or whatever things. In the case of the global situation, it is not about Bitcoin Cash, it's not about crypto, it's not about gold, it's not about land. None of that matters. It's about survival of mankind. I've been having dreams about total destruction and 80% reduction of global population since many months. And I did not want to talk about it because I don't want to be a fearmonger. However, this has now come to a point where I have to do things to save as many people as I can. And I want to use this video as a general advice. Get away from Northern Hemisphere. That's all I can say. Northern Hemisphere, if you live north of the equator, move south. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I don't know where you're from. So as a viewer, I don't know where you are. Most of my viewers are actually not Australian. So move away from Northern Hemisphere. If you can do that in the next 3 months, most likely you will survive. If you can't do that, then hard time is coming. So it is not up to me to decide who survives, who dies, and all those things. And it is a stupid thing to do, to try to warn as many people as possible, actually, because it just put a target on my head again. Because there are people out there who prefer as many people die as possible. I'm not one of them. I want as many people surviving as possible. So my general advice is simple: pack up and move. If you are living in Northern Hemisphere, north of equator, move south. Oh yeah, that's a map. Okay, cool. Nice. Did you give me the zoom out? We're in Melbourne right now, Google Map. So are you able to rotate this thing?
I haven't figured out how to do so yet.
Yeah, okay. Basically, Australia is in Southern Hemisphere, Chile is Southern Hemisphere, Argentina is Southern Hemisphere, and so on and so forth. Even parts of Indonesia is Southern Hemisphere. So as long as you move south, it's good for you.
South Africa also.
South Africa. I forgot. Whole continent. Our African brothers. Yeah, go south. That's all we can say. Go south. Of course, you can in theory go to Antarctica, but I've heard lifestyle there is not the best. So
The surf's just not as good.
no, no, they're good for water. I think they have a lot of water.
Yeah.
Drinking water, no problem.
Yeah.
Everything else, a bit difficult. Yeah, if you can bring sunshine in a bottle, you can go to Antarctica. But other than that, if you still want quality of life, you still want to survive and live a decent life, move south. That's all I can say. And if you don't do it, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter in any way. If we are all done with this situation, anywhere between 70 to 90% of global population will perish. And I don't say this lightly. This is the unfortunate outcome. It's inevitable. When this happens, I don't know. Next week, next month, next year, next 10 years, next 20 years. But it looks more like a next month than next year right now. 7 months ago, it looks more like a next 10 years than next year. Yeah, that's the reality. That's the reality. Do you really care about how much money you're going to make in the next 6 months to 12 months? I don't think that's important right now, honestly. Important is that you make sure you are not exposed to unnecessary radiation. Make sure that you are in a position that you are not in harm's way. That's all I can say. Yeah. And you can, of course, disregard and dismiss all these things, what I'm saying here. But if this video saved one person, just one, the video has paid for itself.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
all that is.
telling people to just completely pack up and move continent is pretty radical advice. But when you look through history, there are many times where
Yeah.
it would have been the right thing to pack up and move continents.
In fact, the only thing you could have done.
Yeah.
If you are a Jew doing Nazi Germany, the most logical thing could have done is pack up and go to US or other continent. That's it. And right now, this is not about race. This is not about culture. It's about global destruction. And we have no one else to blame other than humankind ourselves.
And hemisphere matters because
Yes.
the air rises from the equator. The equator is the hottest part, so you get all the hot air rising
Yeah.
and then splits off. So for that reason, all the air around the northern hemisphere rotates around itself, but doesn't cross the equator. So there's far, far more likely to be, if there is a nuclear explosion or nuclear damage or fallout, then it's far more likely to be in the northern hemisphere because that's where the tension is, and it'll only rotate by the prevailing winds of the hemisphere.
Of course, people ask why is the southern hemisphere immune? It is not immune. However, strategically speaking, there's far less targets on the southern side than on the northern side. Almost all the important strategic locations for nuclear weapon targets are in the northern hemisphere. Therefore, it's only natural that the explosion will happen on the northern side than the southern side. Then when this will happen, we don't know. Can you read the mind of Putin? I don't. Can I read the mind of the President of the United States? I don't. Can I read the mind of the
Xi
Jinping? I don't. Why do I want to? I don't even want to. And therefore, this is just a matter of time until this whole thing happens. And it's a stupid thing to do, but it's the only thing we can do right now. Okay, that's good for today. Yeah, pack up and move south. That's as good advice as you can get.
Lifestyle's good here too. I don't think you'll miss in the northern hemisphere.
No, I have not. But that's a different story. Yeah. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye-bye.